Egypt, where the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly increased youth unemployment in the country, mainly in the tourism, aviation, and entertainment industries. The government has been devising means to minimize job losses by providing financial support to institutions and companies to help keep their workers during this period. This led to the lifting of the curfew regulations as part of efforts to resuscitate the economy despite the prevalence of the coronavirus. Here's more details of that.
Youth unemployment rate in Egypt has increased from 7% to 9.2% since the outbreak of the coronavirus. That accounts for 2.6 million jobless people out of 28 million in the labor force. The most affected sectors are the tourism, aviation, restaurant business and entertainment services. The government has been working hard to minimize job losses due to COVID-19.
The government has distributed monthly salaries to the 2 million jobless youth because their well-being is a priority. It's also provided huge incentives and financial aid to companies and factories to avoid bankruptcy, but on one condition: the companies that receive aid mustn't fire any of their employees. This has protected workers from losing their jobs.
During the 4-month lockdown, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi gave an exception to huge infrastructure projects and allowed real estate companies to resume work. The aim is to ensure that all labor-intensive sectors would keep workers in employment. In late June, the government lifted all curfew restrictions and reopened the economy in spite of the rising cases of coronavirus.
The state had taken on a big burden in the 4 months of lockdown, and it was impossible to keep the situation as it was. Foreign reserves have been decreasing and the growth rate has dropped by 4%. So they had to reopen the economy and return life to normal to be able to sustain itself.
Some people who are affected by the novel coronavirus say they have had to change their daily habits.
Because there's no production, I lost monthly bonuses and 20% of my salary. I have had to reduce expenditure and only buy the necessities for home, unlike before.
I was released from work after COVID-19 hit the country. I'm surviving with the financial aid I take from the government. I'm glad they have reopened the economy. It gives us hope that we can find a job again.
Another issue the government has to contend with is to provide jobs for nearly 600,000 youth who enter the labor market every year. Experts say if the coronavirus continues till the end of the year, the unemployment rate would reach 12% from the current 9.2%.